Hi everyone, Kristen with Museum of Arts and Sciences here. I hope that you all had a safe and happy 4th of July. Welcome and happy National Gummi Worm Day. Today we're going to be making a dirt cake complete with gummy worms. And I'll also be putting together a vanilla option for you, which we'll make into a sand bucket. So these are the ingredients that we're going to need to make our dirt cake, or if you'd prefer, a sand bucket. You're going to need 1 package of Oreos. If you want to do a sand bucket, you'll need 1 box of vanilla wafers. You're going to need either gummy sharks or gummy worms, depending on your dirt cake or sand bucket. 2 packages of vanilla instant pudding, or 2 packages of instant chocolate pudding. You're going to need 1 package of cream cheese, 3 cups of milk, 1 cup of confectioner's sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and you'll need 1/4 of a teaspoon of softened butter. So those are the ingredients we're going to need. Let's get started. For step number 1, we're just going to be crushing our Oreos or our vanilla wafers. If you're making both, we'll crush both up. So I'm going to be making both. So I'm going to start with my Oreos. Just going to put them in a big Ziploc bag and get a heavy glass, or if you have a rolling pin, get a rolling pin. Flatten this out. And then we have our vanilla wafers. So then we're just going to crush up our cookies. You can just use your hands. Once you've crushed up your Oreos and your vanilla wafers, you now have your sand and or your dirt. So for now, we're just going to put these aside, and then we're going to start with our cake mixture. To get started on our cake mixture, we're going to combine the cream cheese, softened, make sure it's softened, your softened butter, and your vanilla extracts. Then you're just going to take a little hand blender and mix that up. Like so. And then we're going to add our chocolate or vanilla instant pudding mix. And we're going to add our 3 cups of milk. As well as our confectioner's sugar. And we're going to mix this until it's smooth. Once you've mixed your pudding and confectioner's sugar and everything else, you'll have a smooth chocolate mixture, and that's going to be the body of our cake. If you're just doing the chocolate, you can move on to the next step, which is going to be assembling your flower pot. If you're doing both, or you're doing the vanilla flavor, hang tight, I'm going to mix that one up next. If you missed the steps the first time, you can watch as we are making the vanilla mixture now. Cream cheese. Softened butter, vanilla, our confectioner's sugar, this up. Like so. Then we're going to add in our pudding. And then our milk. 3 cups of milk. And then we mix this until it's smooth. And there's our vanilla mixture. So from here we're going to take our whipped topping and we're going to fold it into each mixture. As you can see, we have our dirt cake and our sand bucket. And we're going to take our whipped topping and we are going to take one here. We'll do the chocolate first. And you just want to fold. And we're going to do the same thing for the vanilla. My bowl for the vanilla is a little bit smaller, so I'm going to do the folding of the whipped topping in smaller doses. Start there. Now that we have our mixture and our sand, we can start assembling our sand bucket. So grab your bucket. If you don't have a bucket, you can just use any serving dish or pan, whatever you'd like. What you're going to do is you're just going to spoon in your mixture. You'll do a little bit of your mixture. And then you're going to layer it with some of your sand or your vanilla wafer cookies. That's my first layer. And you're just going to continue to layer your topping, your mixture, and then your sand. And there you go, there's your sand bucket. We'll garnish it in just a minute once we get our flower bucket put together. Here I have my flower pot. I think it's a little too big for the amount that I made, so I put a little stuffer in there to bring the bottom of the jar up a little bit. But we're just gonna get started here, putting in our dirt. And there is our dirt bucket. So let's get to the fun part and start our garnishing. This is where we're gonna need our gummy worms and our gummy sharks. And if you wanna put some flowers in your dirt bucket, I have some, and I've just wrapped the base of the flowers with some aluminum foil. And you can just stick your flowers in your pot like so. Stick mine a little further to the back. Spread them out a little bit. Perfect. And let's put our gummies in. for my sand bucket, I have some pretty blue shark gummies. So there are my sharks, and my sand bucket is done. So we'll put this one to the side, and we'll bring our flowers forward. And let's put in our gummy worms. And there you have it, our dirt cake with our gummy worms. Here's a close-up on our dirt cake. I decided to take the flowers out and do the shovel just because I thought you could see the gummy worms better. And here's our sand bucket. Thanks again for watching and supporting MOAS. If you decided to make either one of the buckets today, please share your photo on Facebook and tag @MOAS Daytona. We want to see who's baking along with us. So thank you again, and we'll see you next time.